what's going on? Makoto Naesi here, and today we are back with another episode of Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Now, last time, things did not seem the best for, our good friend Hiro. He looks pretty guilty with the flippin', even, like, Hifumi before he died saying that it was Yasuhiro. So that's pretty definitive evidence, but something tells me that everything is not as it seems. Alright, is that it? I thought I had one more. Didn't I get one from Celeste? Alright, open e-handbook. Let's check our truth bullets real quick. Now, here we have, Monokuma file number 3. The blue tarp, blah, 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 blah. But 17 pieces of evidence so far. And, system, save over this. And I think we are ready. Trial, all rise, trial number 3, and
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. Figure out.
Alright, sorry guys.
Then only then I'll punish everyone now then. To begin with...
If we're gonna start with the murder weapon again, I'm gonna kill someone.
We already know who did it.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit.
Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't. Someone knocked me out. I was asleep the whole time. I don't know anything about it.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Irony for Genocide Jill being the one to say that.
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling.
The thing about that evidence is the fact that, okay guys, let's just look over these 2 pieces of evidence. Let's go through the court record. If you look like, flippin', where is it? Okay, the Robo Justice blueprints, then you'll notice that, like, and then you look at, hold on. Then you look at the, where is it? Oh, Yasuhiro's message. His handwriting is rather neat, and this has really bad handwriting. So we can only assume that someone else is the one who wrote it. Yeah, so...
It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know. I don't know.
Is Hiro really the killer, or before anything else, we have to make that clear. Honestly, I don't think he has the guts to kill anyone. Okay.
Everything we found in your room,
Okay.
the blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
Alright, hold on, I forget how to, space key, you'll concentrate and use the control key to speed up the debate.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No, just hold on a second.
Okay, alright. I mean, looking at the blueprints, the handwriting is awful messy. If I remember right, Hiro's handwriting is...
Everything we found, the blueprints,
The suit parts.
Boom! No, that's wrong! It's more like, you got that wrong!
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
I highly
what
doubt
do you
it.
mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
Who would have that bad handwriting, though?
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Yay, Gary!
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
It's true, I'm useless!
So Makoto, Are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro's innocent as well.
What?
Yes, that's right, Naegi. As much as I hate to say it, but I actually agree with you for once. Ugh. Yeah. Tagami has a crush on Naegi now, doesn't he?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
What? And of course he passes it off to me.
So? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
The suspicious individual in question, the one that must have been in the suit, Hiro, the Illuminati! But it's Hiro, isn't it? If this is the right answer...
I got it!
Okay.
Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Alright.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
To be honest, Hina, you're making less sense right now. And Tagami is actually making more sense, so for right now, just... shh.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Again, the things that were used to move Taka's body, they must have been, well, it's obviously the repository dolly. This is honestly really easy. There's still one more thing. The things that were used to move Taka's body, they must have been, oh, and the blue tarp, of course.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain.
Oh, God.
Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
And the dolly.
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly.
True.
Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body?
Yeah, I'm
That
sure.
dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
No, that's impossible.
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Damn, okay,
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
holy crap, Celeste is being savage right now. Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. But maybe I can change her mind. if I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. A new element has been added to the Truth bullet time battles. Would you like to hear more? Bullet time battles already? Let's talk about reloading. Starting with the next bullet time battle, we're gonna add one more ingredient into the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just keep locking on and pressing the left mouse button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the tab key. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the tab key in time with the tempo marker. Oh, are you kidding me? Basically, just remember that the tab key now has a function along with the RMBL and LMB buttons. You will automatically reload at the start of fever time, and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, you won't have to reload at all. In which case, you can just ignore everything I just said. Well then, good luck and have fun. Already? Already? That's weird. That's really weird.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic.
Damn!
Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable
Crap!
wretch.
This isn't good!
You have
Oh
it
crap!
wrong.
Oh crap, this
I
isn't
cannot
good!
Agree.
Oh crap, I'm gonna
You are a
lose!
fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your
Oh,
worst.
crap.
Away with you.
Come on, come on!
Miserable wretch.
I need to figure how to.
I cannot agree.
How the heck?
You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere.
Oh crap!
Do
Crap!
your worst. You
Oh crap!
miserable
This
wretch.
isn't good. What the heck? Celeste, you
miserable
jerk! Oh
You
crap!
have it wrong.
Oh, there it is.
I cannot agree. You are a fool. So
Why do I
pathetic.
keep missing? I
Lies
can't
will
be
get you
missing
nowhere.
this
Do
much.
your worst.
Oh,
Away with
I need
you.
to. I've lost. Oh my god. Celeste, god damn it. No one believes me, blah 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 blah. Okay, I don't understand why everyone votes for me if I get it wrong. Yes! What the
I
hell?
refuse to give up yet.
Oh my god. Okay. A new element, nah. Okay, this is... Oh god, I need to be completely in time. I already hate this.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch.
Oh crap.
You have it
Oh
wrong.
crap. Crap.
I cannot
Oh, I
agree.
hate this.
You are a fool.
I'm gonna have to just keep doing
So
this.
pathetic.
Okay.
Lies will get you nowhere.
Come on, come on, come on,
Do
come on!
your worst. Away with you,
Come on. Come on.
you miserable wretch.
Oh, come
I
on.
cannot agree.
This is like...
You
This
are a fool. Lies will get you
unreasonably...
nowhere.
Oh my god, no.
Do your worst.
I'm just
you
awful
miserable
at these! Crap!
wretch. You miserable wretch.
Ah, I'm gonna pause the game until I finally defeat this because honestly, this is just BS.
I cannot
I did
agree.
it. Go.
This should
Okay,
prove it.
okay. Oh, thank goodness. Dang it. Why? Why was that so soon? I just had to spam it, and I didn't
If you're
even need
asking
to
for proof
time
that
it
the dolly
perfectly.
moved, I have it right here. When I found
Why
the
did I have
dolly
to
in
do
the
that so soon?
repository,
It's literally
one of the
14 minutes
wheels
into the
had a blood
episode.
stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread.
Oh, I hate the bullet time battles
The killer
so
probably
damn
rolled
much.
the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jesus, Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer.
Okay.
If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If I look at how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? Oh, can I please get multiple truth bullets? Oh, why only one?
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
Uh-huh.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the... then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Yep.
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
That's what we need
Then
to
you
do.
could push the dolly no problem.
So the killer just crouched down and carted the body off to the repository.
If you accept everything we just said, then you must realize that whoever was in the suit couldn't possibly be the culprit.
Sorry, I don't think I realize anything.
The dolly doesn't have any handles, so to push it, you'll have to be able to bend over. But would anyone wearing that suit have been able to actually stoop down like that?
As we know, and from there.
Yeah, then loaded it on...
Now, keep in mind.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
No, that's wrong! Break, this is way too easy, honestly.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
True.
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance the costume was able to take it off just to move the body, because Hero's not strong enough, and yeah, you can't take it off by yourself.
I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make the stupid friggin' thing. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Really sloppy framework, honestly.
Then you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Yeah, really sloppy.
Of course I wasn't making it up.
Whoever, like, is the actual culprit, because I'm sure it's not Hero.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Exactly!
Yeah, that's right!
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took?
Oh god, it's becoming painfully obvious on who the killer is, and it's making me really disappointed because I thought this person, this individual, was able. Well, I thought this person would do better, honestly. This kind of is a disappointing trial.
You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo-Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
Yeah. How did you get hurt? The guy hit me? What guy? Robo-Justice or what did I call him just now?
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question.
Also, you kind of forgot the fact that Hifumi did say Yasuhiro's name. And that's kind of a weird thing to say.
The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
But there are so many holes in
Hold on a
this.
second.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion.
Go, Gary!
Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility?
Gary!
Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
Yeah,
All
I am
right,
curious
then.
about where
Let's
she was
take
too.
another look back at what happened.
Alright.
I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up. So we went to look for everyone.
Alright.
That was around 8 a.m.
Yeah, we've
And
heard this
as
whole
soon as we
thing.
split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library.
That sounds about
He
right.
was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office.
Well, so was
and
Celeste,
resumed
wasn't
our
she? But she
search for
was
the
a
suspect.
little injured, not bleeding at all.
But not long after leaving the nurse's office.
Blah, blah, blah. Saw a shadow.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Blah, blah, blah. Stream costume man. Blah, blah, blah.
and then,
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. We already
at
went
that
through
point,
this.
we decided to divide up into 2 groups.
'Kay.
Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room.
Ishimaru's
We
dead.
must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Bum, bum, blump.
We rushed back to the nurse's.
Then we remembered
It's all that she was right.
we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
Can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kirigiri.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them.
Good job,
now then,
Kirigiri.
let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden with that, what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them, no matter what. Do 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 do. This is my jam. Only one truth bullet again.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of...
Okay, sorry, there is something wrong here. Monica file number 3. It is both... So that they were both killed with a similar weapon. This doesn't do anything for us.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
The Justice Hammers were numbered, but were they really used in that order?
So, regarding Taka's death,
I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were. Taka came last.
Taka did?
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammer.
It's true that
Hifumi was killed while Taka's death.
See?
Well, the thing is, this doesn't really contradict anything. The victims, the cause of death for each were a blow to the head. Is thought they were both killed with a similar weapon. That really does not help us at all. What order they killed in and the letters they were numbered. That really has nothing to do with this case. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Help, focus gauge. I feel like we have to get something. Weak spots. Firing left. Quick select. Silencer. If you target a weak spot, you can use it. Okay. So which one do we get?
I wonder if, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Crap.
It's true that Hifumi was
Killed with while Taka's death.
See?
Blah, blah,
So
blah.
it's obvious
I'm
Taka
stuck.
came. So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed. Taka came last.
Crap, that is too much.
Because of the
It's true that while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came.
Okay, this is like
So,
really
I
concerning.
wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that
Hifumi was killed with while Taka's
Crap.
death.
See? So it's
Maybe it's
obvious Taka came.
the hammers or something like that.
So,
I just
wonder if
do
or
not
perhaps it
think.
was- We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Okay, there we
It's
go.
true
The
that while
numbering.
Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came.
Okay, the
So,
numbering.
I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed.
Yeah, there we go.
No, that's wrong. Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order,
Yeah.
but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
Yes.
Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proves that Taka was killed before Hifumi, so there's something that relates to what time he must have died. Oh god, Hangman's Gambit. No. I haven't done these in a while. Writing? Oh. Oh boy. Oh boy. That ain't good. Oh boy. Nobody. Oh my god, I'm doing terrible this trial. I'm sorry, guys. I'm being embarrassed and humiliated. I probably should have looked over the evidence again. Another shot. Yes, of course.
I refuse to give
Why would
up
I
yet.
say no? What would happen? Blah 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 blah. I hate Hangman's Gambits though. I think these are flippin' pointless. I forget. Okay. Influence gauge, concentration. Press the forward. Shoot down the letters by pressing the left mouse, and you have to destroy. Shoot some letters more than once. Shoot down the letters. Okay. Writing? Oh. Right. Do I need a G? Right. Oh, I need a T maybe. S? I don't think I need any of these. Oh boy. Oh, wrist! Wristwatch! I'm such an idiot. And I need an H. Give me an H. Oh, Hangman's Gambits. I'm such an idiot.
Now I understand. I've got it. Taka's wristwatch.
Okay,
See?
I'm sorry. I'm an idiot,
Look,
guys.
It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night...
Hey, you! How long are you gonna keep us waiting? Blah, blah, blah. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe. When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Yeah.
Wait, Then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies.
I wouldn't say
On the
that. This
other
is
hand,
really weird.
Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing.
True.
And according to what Celeste said,
Yeah. Could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Blah, blah, blah.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it.
Yep.
But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
That's really
Well,
weird.
What if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
She's got it! Boo-doo-doo.
The dead body moved on its own?
Yeah.
No! Not another ghost!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
Yeah.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
Well, none of you checked his pulse.
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea is Fumi was still alive. Is it really possible? Give me more than one truth bullet! Hey! Please, 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 please. Ah! The broken wristwatch.
Are you saying that when we first found
Hold on.
Hifumi in the nurse's office?
Hold on. I can't, about the, broken wristwatch. It just says past 6. Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with this, though.
There's a chance he was actually still alive.
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
Well, none of you checked his pulse.
And you know that how?
Ooh.
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No, that was not
And
his
that
dead body.
is why the announcement was made.
No, the Ishimaru's
Are
body
we
was.
really so sure about that?
Oh!
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Yep. I'm sure the body discovery announcement was only made once, but I'm afraid Fumi and Taka's bodies were discovered at almost exactly the same time.
Are you saying
Someone
that when we
else's
first-
discovery.
there's a chance he-
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that.
Surely you heard the body discovered. Hifumi's dead body
Had been found.
BAM!
No, that's wrong.
Woo! I'm pumped!
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
Yeah.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
Well, there was a second announcement made. It was right after Fumi's body was found.
What
in
do you
that
say,
room.
Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Yep.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Which means, even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again.
Yep.
If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the
Yep.
body discovery announcement twice.
The second body discovery announcement, the first time we played was when we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room. The second time was when both bodies were rediscovered.
We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the two bodies.
Ding dong ding! A body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, a class trial will begin!
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
Yep.
So when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet.
Yep.
Meaning he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. Hifumi's glasses. Okay.
Well, here's one thing we do know.
Alright. Well, let's take a look at Hifumi's glasses. Oh yeah, that's the thing.
The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
Yep.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
That is where we have to
Then,
hit it.
was he really still alive?
Of course not. It is impossible. This is ridiculous.
Celeste, what's going on with you, man? Yeah, there's definitely some clue.
Well, here's one thing. The first time we found him, and then his body disappeared.
And the next time it was in the...
But when you compare his body other than
The change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
You've got that
No,
wrong!
it's wrong.
Break.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository.
Yeah.
His glasses.
Yeah.
That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Yep.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless.
Yep.
And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The evidence I found in the nurse's office was... It was the glasses cleaning cloth with an anime figure on it.
I got it!
Which is clearly his.
It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean, and the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
the character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
Tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who else
But who
would do
benefit
it?
from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
True.
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
Yeah.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot.
And if Hifumi was
True.
still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained.
True.
It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one was Hifumi.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
True.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means, when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
True.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
Look at that little smirk.
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
Yeah. That thing Hifumi stole from Taka. Could it be? It has to be the note Hifumi had.
I got it!
Yep.
You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Yep.
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a note. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Mahana can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
Ah, that's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Me! Hifumi's pants! No, it's Taka.
Got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, just Jack is seriously scary, but still, I can't let her get to me. Finally! More than one! Alright, what do we use here?
Huffy had the note, right?
Okay, wait, how do I move truth bolts again? Do I use the, space key, blah blah blah. Oh,
Then the person it was intended for must have been Happy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Yes, it does! The broken wristwatch proves that.
Happy had the note, then the person it was must have been Happy!
But remember what time did it? 6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
BAM!
No, that's wrong. No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet.
Yep.
The equipment room, right?
Yep.
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that...
No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me.
Yep.
The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Hifumi is the one who wrote the note.
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
Yeah. Proof. Oh, that's right. There we go.
I got it!
There we
When I
go.
searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
Yup.
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
I think Hifumi was the one who murdered Ishimaru.
Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
Well, that's weird.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository, so he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
Yep.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Yep.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all.
Good job, Hero. You actually did something useful for once. You get a cookie.
But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right?
I can explain this.
So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it.
Yep.
But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
Yep.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either.
Good point.
The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
Yeah, but there's something...
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. So I'm gonna have to find the truth. Alright. Multiple truth bullets, please! Why? Only one? Ugh.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
Spotless hammer.
Was it Justice Hammer 3?
No.
Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
True.
sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers!
That is wrong.
And, that's about it.
Alright. Yeah, the weapons are similar.
What was used to kill it? Was it just maybe Justice?
Alright.
One, how was the culprit? How did nobody... Sounds like a Justice Hammer! Check out murdergear.com!
Well, what? The murder weapon had to be one of the...
No, that's wrong!
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
Yep.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris, but for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off.
Yeah,
I'd
but
also like
if
to
they
point
hit
out that the
him with the
repository has
hammer,
all kinds of
wouldn't there
hammers.
be a blood
Big
splatter?
ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least what we thought at first, but... Ooh, there's something wrong here. Multiple truth bullets? Oh. Spotless hammer again.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Ooh. Can you really say there's no chance two people work together on this?
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us,
Even if more than one, only the one who actually, assuming the
the rule holds true.
No, that's wrong!
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering.
Yep.
Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime, and based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders.
Yep.
Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents.
Yep.
And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies by creating one seamless set of circumstances. They made it look like one person was behind it all.
Yep.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan.
True.
And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice.
Yep.
Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
Yep.
But that's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
Yeah. The effort made to convince us that the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kirigiri must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kirigiri is really amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all of that, there's only one person that seems to fit. And the killer is...